You do everything right. You're loyal, honest, hardworking, and still people walk all over you. They interrupt you, overlook you, and treat you like an afterthought. It's not because you're not good enough. It's because you're holding on to habits that make you look weak, even if you're not. Respect isn't earned by doing more. It's earned by cutting out the things that destroy your power. And today, we're fixing that one. Laughing when you're not amused. You force a laugh when someone makes a bad joke. You smile when something feels off. You laugh to ease tension. Even if that tension is disrespect towards you, it seems harmless, but it's not. Because when you laugh at what doesn't amuse you, you send the message that you're not grounded in yourself, that you'll bend your emotions to match the room, and people lose respect for that. The Stoics believed in emotional clarity, not fake positivity. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to be honest, calm, and self-contained, not performative, not reactive, not fake. The solution? Hold your frame. If something's not funny, don't pretend it is. If you're uncomfortable, don't mask it with a smile. The world doesn't need more clowns. It needs more men who are at peace with silence, stillness, and real emotion. That's where respect lives. 2. Saying sorry when you're not wrong. You bump into someone slightly and apologize, like you committed a crime. You express a strong opinion, so me and Eddie's agrees, and you immediately backtrack with a weak sorry. You apologize for taking up space. You're not being polite. You're signaling weakness. Over-apologizing trains people to believe you're in the wrong, even when you're not. It makes you look like you doubt your own place in the world, Seneca wrote. No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself. You can't prove yourself if you're always shrinking. There's a time to apologize when you've failed your own standard, not when someone else is uncomfortable. If you weren't wrong, don't act like you were. Respect begins when you stop making yourself smaller to make others feel bigger. 3. Chasing comfort at all costs. You avoid tough conversations. You cancel plans when they're inconvenient. You skip workouts because you're tired. You take the easy route every time, and the people around you can smell it. Comfort addiction is a disease. It makes you soft, predictable, disposable. The man who chooses comfort becomes replaceable because nothing about him pushes boundaries, and no one respects what they can outpace. Stoicism is built on discomfort. Cato walked barefoot in winter to toughen his resolve. Or Aurelius ruled an empire during plague and war, never once complaining. Not because he liked pain, but because he refused to be owned by comfort. If you want respect, stop chasing ease. Wake up earlier than you want. Do the thing you've been avoiding. Pick the harder path on purpose. That's how men become rare. That's how respect is earned. For telling people your every move, you announce your goals before you've earned them. You share plans with people who haven't earned your trust. You post every workout, every struggle, every win, hoping someone will validate your journey. And you don't even see the damage. Because every time you overshare, you dilute your power. You train people to see you as insecure, someone who needs to be seen to feel real, not someone who moves in silence and lets results do the talking. The Stoics believed in inner strength, in discipline without display. Epictetus taught, don't explain your philosophy, embody it, move in silence, set your goals, keep your struggles private, build your life like it's sacred. Let your growth shock people, not because you told them, but because they can't deny what they see. Respect doesn't follow noise, it follows results. 5. Laughing off disrespect. Someone makes a slick comment, a passive-aggressive jab. They hide it behind a smile, and you laugh it off like it didn't bother you, even though it did. You think you're being mature? That you're taking the high road? But what you're actually doing is telling them it's okay to treat me like this. You train people how to treat you. And every time you let disrespect slide, you reinforce the idea that you're easy to walk over. Stoic men weren't emotionless. They were precise. They didn't explode, but they didn't tolerate 10 cents either. Aurelius didn't waste energy on insults. But he never allowed himself to become someone's joke. When someone disrespects you, address it once directly and calmly. You don't need to escalate. But you do need to draw a line because people only respect the standards you enforce. 6. Waiting for permission to act. You have ideas, goals, things you know you need to do, but you wait. You ask friends what they think. You second-guess yourself. You look for green lights from people who didn't even understand the road you're on. That hesitation makes you forgettable. People don't respect indecision. They don't trust a man who can't trust himself. And worst of all, you start seeing yourself through their doubts. The Stoics believed in decisive action and trusting reason over approval. Seneca wrote, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, but because we do not dare, they are difficult." Make the call. Launch the project. Say what needs to be said. You don't need permission to be who you are. The longer you wait, the louder the silence gets. Move before someone less capable takes your spot because they weren't scared to act. 7. Tolerating low-standard friendships. You spend time with people who drain you. Men with no ambition, friends who gossip, complain, and settle. You hang on out of nostalgia or fear of being alone, but deep down you know they're holding you back. You become who you're around. And if the people closest to you don't challenge you, push you, sharpen you, you start to rot, not overnight, but slowly, quietly. The Stoics were ruthless about influence. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself, associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. If you want respect, cut off dead weight. Be around warriors, men who build, not whine. Friends who sharpen you like iron. Stop calling it loyalty when it's really self-sabotage. Respect starts when you raise your circle or walk alone. Respect doesn't come from status, money, or shouting louder than the next guy. It comes from eliminating the habits that scream weakness. Fake smiles, the unnecessary apologies, the endless sharing, the cowardice, the quiet betrayal of your own standards. Stoicism isn't about being passive. It's about being immovable, focused, clear, a man others look at and feel something without you needing to say a word. So if you're tired of being underestimated, if you're done with being overlooked, then start removing these habits. Not next week, not someday. Now, if this hit you, subscribe to the channel. We drop content like this every week, designed to help you become the strongest version of yourself. And if you're serious about growth, check the description. We've linked some of the best resources to help you level up mentally, physically, and strategically. Walk forward with strength. Walk forward with clarity. And never beg for respect again. Earn it.